Beloved child, if this message has appeared before you today, do not rush away from it. Not because fear is chasing you. Not because something terrible will happen if you leave. Stay because there is something your soul has been searching for, and for the next few moments, I want you to listen with your heart. Archangel Michael says, "My child, there are moments in life when heaven becomes quiet, and there are moments when heaven speaks so clearly that even the strongest doubts cannot silence the message. This is one of those moments. You have spent so much time wondering whether you are seen, whether your prayers are heard, whether your tears mattered, whether the nights you cried alone reached the throne of God. Today, I am telling you that not a single tear was ignored. Not one. Jesus says, 'My beloved child, before you were born, I knew every battle you would face. I knew every disappointment that would try to break your faith. I knew every person who would walk into your life and every person who would walk away. And yet I still chose you.' Think about that. The Creator of the universe knew your weaknesses, your mistakes, your fears, your doubts, and still called you His own. Many people spend their entire lives searching for proof that they matter. But what if the proof was never hidden? What if the fact that you are still here is proof enough? What if every breath you take is evidence that heaven has not given up on you? Archangel Michael says, "Listen carefully because what I am about to reveal surprises many chosen ones. The greatest attack against your destiny is not failure. It is distraction. The enemy does not always try to destroy you. Sometimes he simply tries to keep you busy. Busy worrying. Busy doubting. Busy comparing yourself to everyone else. Busy looking at doors that have already closed instead of the doors God is preparing to open. My child, there is a reason you have felt restless lately. There is a reason your spirit has felt different. There is a reason you cannot shake the feeling that something is changing. Because something is changing. A season that lasted longer than expected is reaching its conclusion. A chapter that exhausted your heart is nearing its final page. And a new beginning is closer than you realize. Jesus says, "You asked for a sign. You asked for direction. You asked for confirmation. You asked if I still remembered you. And now you are hearing this message. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. But because heaven understands exactly what your heart needs today. There are people listening right now who feel forgotten. People who feel abandoned. People who smile in public but struggle in private. People who have become experts at pretending everything is okay. Yet deep inside, they are carrying burdens nobody knows about. My child, I know. I know the burden. I know the disappointment. I know the heartbreak. I know the unanswered questions. And I know the strength it took for you to keep moving forward when you wanted to quit. Archangel Michael says, "You are stronger than you think. Much stronger. The battles you survived would have broken many others. The storms you endured would have convinced many others to surrender. Yet here you are. Still standing. Still breathing. Still hoping. Still fighting. Do not underestimate what that means. Heaven sees courage differently than the world does. The world celebrates loud victories. Heaven celebrates faithful endurance. The world notices trophies. Heaven notices perseverance. The world notices success. Heaven notices faith. And your faith has been noticed. Jesus says, "There is something I need you to understand. Your value was never determined by your achievements. Your worth was never determined by your income. Your identity was never determined by other people's opinions. You are valuable because you were created by God. Nothing can increase that value. Nothing can decrease that value. Not your failures. Not your mistakes. Not your past. Not your fears. Nothing." Archangel Michael says, "Many chosen ones are carrying regret. Regret over opportunities missed. Regret over relationships lost. Regret over words spoken. Regret over time wasted. But listen carefully. You cannot rewrite yesterday. You cannot relive yesterday. But you can redeem today. And one decision today can change the direction of tomorrow. That is the power God has placed inside this moment." Jesus says, "My child, there are blessings approaching that do not look like blessings yet. There are answers forming that you cannot see yet. There are victories developing behind the scenes. There are doors being prepared. There are connections being arranged. There are opportunities being aligned. While you were worrying, heaven was working. While you were doubting, heaven was arranging. While you were waiting, heaven was preparing." Never assume silence means absence. Sometimes silence means preparation. Archangel Michael says, "I want you to remember this forever. The delay was not the denial. The waiting was not the rejection. The process was not the punishment. Many of the greatest blessings arrive after the longest periods of uncertainty. Not because God enjoys making you wait, but because preparation matters. A seed must grow roots before it grows fruit. And God has been growing roots inside your life." Jesus says, "The next chapter of your journey requires a stronger version of you. A wiser version. A calmer version. A more faithful version." And that is exactly what these previous seasons have been producing. One day you will look back and understand. One day the pieces will connect. One day the confusion will make sense. One day the tears will reveal their purpose. And when that day arrives, you will realize that I was with you every step of the way. Archangel Michael says, "Chosen one, lift your eyes. Do not stare endlessly at what is behind you. Look ahead. There is still purpose in front of you. There is still joy in front of you. There is still growth in front of you. There is still victory in front of you. And there is still a future worth believing in." Jesus says, "My beloved child, do not allow fear to write the story of your life. Let faith write it. Do not allow anxiety to become your guide. Let hope guide you. Do not allow discouragement to define your identity. Let my love define it. Because my love for you has never changed. Not yesterday. Not today. Not tomorrow. Never. Archangel Michael says. And now, before this message ends, hear these words clearly. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not invisible. You are not fighting alone. Heaven knows your name. Heaven knows your story. Heaven knows your struggle. And heaven has not stopped working on your behalf. Jesus says, keep moving forward, my child. Keep believing. Keep praying. Keep trusting. The story is not over. The chapter is not finished. The promise is still alive. And the light ahead is brighter than the darkness behind. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward knowing that you are loved more deeply than you can imagine. And remember this. The God who carried you through every previous battle is more than able to carry you through the next one. Archangel Michael says, my child, if you are still listening, there is a reason. Not everyone stays long enough to hear what comes next. Many people spend their lives searching for answers while ignoring the moments when answers are placed directly in front of them. Today, I want to speak to the part of you that has been exhausted. The part of you that feels tired of waiting. The part of you that wonders how much longer you can keep believing. Because heaven has seen that struggle. Heaven has heard every question you were afraid to say out loud. And heaven is not offended by your questions. God is not threatened by your doubts. He understands the weight you have been carrying. Jesus says, my beloved child, there were nights when you thought nobody understood. There were mornings when getting out of bed felt like a battle. There were moments when you smiled for everyone else while carrying pain nobody could see. Yet even in those moments, I was there. When you cried, I was there. When you felt lost, I was there. When you felt forgotten, I was there. When you wondered if I had left, I was there. The truth is that I have been closer than you realized. Many times you were asking, God, where are you? And all along I was standing beside you. Archangel Michael says, there is something remarkable about chosen ones. They often underestimate themselves. They focus on what they have not achieved. They focus on what still needs fixing. They focus on their weaknesses. Meanwhile, heaven sees something entirely different. Heaven sees resilience. Heaven sees courage. Heaven sees growth. Heaven sees someone who refused to quit despite every reason to surrender. You may not feel powerful. But surviving what you survived required tremendous strength. Never forget that. Jesus says, my child, comparison has stolen enough from you. Stop measuring your journey against someone else's timeline. Stop assuming that another person's success means your opportunity has disappeared. Stop believing that because someone else arrived first, there is no place for you. I created a path specifically for you. A purpose specifically for you. A calling specifically for you. And nobody can take what God has prepared for you. Nobody. Archangel Michael says, right now there are things happening behind the scenes that you cannot see. Conversations you do not know about. Doors being prepared. Opportunities approaching. Connections forming. Solutions developing. Answers moving closer. Most people give up because they judge reality only by what they can currently see. But faith sees beyond the visible. Faith understands that preparation often happens in hidden places. Faith understands that roots grow underground before fruit appears above ground. Jesus says, there are listeners hearing these words who have been carrying disappointment for years. Disappointment from relationships. Disappointment from family. Disappointment from dreams that did not unfold as expected. And because of those disappointments, they have become cautious. They protect their hearts. They lower their expectations. They stop believing for great things. But today I am asking you to open your heart again. Not to people. Not to circumstances. But to hope. Because hopelessness is not your future. Faith is. Archangel Michael says. Listen carefully. Some of the battles you fought were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal you. Pressure reveals strength. Storms reveal faith. Challenges reveal character. And what has been revealed in you is far greater than you realize. You have grown. You have matured. You have learned. You have endured. And those qualities will matter greatly in the season ahead. Jesus says, my child, there is a blessing hidden inside gratitude. When you focus only on what is missing, life feels empty. When you recognize what remains, life begins to feel different. Look how far you have come. Look at what you survived. Look at the lessons you learned. Look at the strength you developed. Look at the ways you were protected even when you did not notice it. You are not where you started. And that matters. Archangel Michael says, the next revelation may surprise you. Many chosen ones think their greatest days are behind them. They believe the best opportunities have already passed. They believe they missed their chance. But heaven does not operate according to human deadlines. God can restore years. God can create opportunities where none appear to exist. God can open doors nobody expected. God can transform situations faster than human logic can explain. Never underestimate what God can accomplish in a single season. Jesus says, do you remember the dreams you stopped talking about? The goals you quietly set aside? The prayers you stopped mentioning because too much time had passed? I remember them. Every single one. Nothing was forgotten. Nothing was lost. Nothing escaped my attention. And while not every dream unfolds exactly as expected, many blessings arrive in forms greater than what was originally imagined. Trust me enough to believe that possibility still exists. Archangel Michael says, there are moments in history when everything changes because of one decision. One conversation. One opportunity. One act of courage. One step forward. Your future is not determined by every mistake behind you. It is shaped by the choices ahead of you. And heaven is encouraging you to keep moving. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Because your story still contains chapters that have not been written. Jesus says, My beloved child, there is one more truth I want you to hear. You do not have to carry everything alone. You were never designed to carry every burden by yourself. Bring your worries to me. Bring your fears to me. Bring your questions to me. Bring your uncertainty to me. You do not need perfect faith. You only need a willing heart. Even small faith becomes powerful when placed in God's hands. Archangel Michael says. And now, before this message comes to a close, I want you to imagine something. Imagine looking back 1 year from now. Imagine seeing obstacles that once seemed impossible now standing behind you. Imagine seeing growth where there was once fear. Imagine seeing peace where there was once anxiety. Imagine seeing confidence where there was once doubt. That future is built one day at a time. One choice at a time. One act of faith at a time. Jesus says, My child, your journey is not ending. It is unfolding. You are not being abandoned. You are being guided. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. You are not powerless. You are supported by a strength greater than your own. Whenever fear whispers that nothing will improve, remember these words. Whenever doubt tries to convince you to surrender, remember these words. Whenever discouragement tells you that hope is pointless, remember these words. The story is not finished. The promise is not dead. The future is not empty. And God's love for you has never weakened. Archangel Michael says, Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward with expectation. The same God who protected you yesterday is watching over you today. The same God who guided you before will guide you again. And the same God who carried you through every storm is still holding your future in His hands. Jesus says, Peace be with you, my beloved child. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep moving forward. The best chapters of your story have not been written yet. Jesus says, My beloved child, before you continue with your day, there is something I need you to understand. Many people believe that miracles only happen when mountains move. Many people believe that blessings only count when they are dramatic. But some of the greatest miracles happen quietly. A door that did not close. A mistake that did not destroy you. A delay that protected you. A conversation that changed your direction. A moment of strength when you thought you had none left. Those are miracles too. And your life has been filled with more miracles than you realize. Archangel Michael says, Chosen one, heaven has watched every chapter of your journey. The victories. The failures. The celebrations. The disappointments. The moments when your faith felt strong. And the moments when your faith felt weak. Yet through every season, one thing remained unchanged. God never stopped loving you. Not once. The world may change its opinion of you. People may come and go. Circumstances may rise and fall. But God's love remains constant. Jesus says, There are listeners hearing these words who have become discouraged because their lives do not look the way they expected. They imagined they would be further ahead. They imagined certain dreams would already be fulfilled. They imagined certain struggles would already be over. And because reality looks different than expected, they have started questioning themselves. But hear me clearly. A delayed dream is not a dead dream. A difficult season is not a defeated life. A temporary setback is not a permanent ending. Your story is still unfolding. Do not judge the entire journey based on a single chapter. Archangel Michael says, one of the greatest mistakes chosen ones make is forgetting how much they have already overcome. You remember the pain. You remember the losses. You remember the disappointments. But sometimes you forget the victories. You forget the obstacles that once looked impossible. You forget the storms that once felt overwhelming. You forget the prayers that were already answered. Take a moment and look back. You have survived things that once terrified you. You have overcome challenges that once seemed unbeatable. You have grown stronger than you ever expected. And that same strength remains within you today. Jesus says, "My child, there are opportunities ahead that require confidence. Not arrogance. Not pride. Confidence. Confidence in who God created you to be. Confidence in the gifts placed inside you. Confidence in the wisdom you have gained. Confidence in the lessons you have learned. Stop speaking about yourself as though you are defeated. Stop talking about your future as though failure is inevitable. Your words matter. Your expectations matter. Your perspective matters. Begin speaking with hope. Begin speaking with faith. Begin speaking as someone who believes that God is still working. Archangel Michael says, the future often appears uncertain because you can only see one step at a time. But heaven sees the entire road. God sees the beginning. God sees the middle. God sees the destination. What feels confusing to you is already clear to Him. What feels impossible to you is already understood by Him. That is why trust is so important. Trust allows you to move forward even when complete understanding has not yet arrived. Jesus says, there are people listening right now who feel pressure from every direction. Pressure from finances. Pressure from responsibilities. Pressure from relationships. Pressure from expectations. Pressure from uncertainty. And because of that pressure, they have started believing they are not enough. But my child, your value does not decrease because life becomes difficult. Your worth does not disappear because challenges appear. You remain valuable. You remain loved. You remain important. You remain chosen. Nothing can change that truth. Archangel Michael says, there is another revelation many people need to hear. Not every closed door is a punishment. Sometimes a closed door is protection. Sometimes what appears to be rejection is actually redirection. Sometimes the opportunity you lost was never meant to carry you where God wants you to go. And later, when you see the full picture, you will understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. Jesus says, patience is difficult because it asks you to trust before you can see. It asks you to believe before evidence appears. It asks you to remain faithful while answers are still developing. But patience produces strength. Patience produces wisdom. Patience produces maturity. And patience prepares people for the blessings they are about to receive. Do not despise the waiting season. Learn from it. Grow through it. Allow it to shape you. Archangel Michael says, "Chosen one, there is still purpose attached to your life. Still assignments to complete. Still people to encourage. Still lessons to learn. Still victories to experience. Still joy to discover. Still dreams to pursue. As long as you are here, your story has meaning. As long as you are breathing, your journey has purpose. Never forget that." Jesus says, "The enemy often tries to convince people that their mistakes define them. But your mistakes are chapters. They are not the entire book. Your failures are experiences. They are not your identity. Your struggles are seasons. They are not your destiny. I see beyond your mistakes. I see beyond your fears. I see beyond your weaknesses. I see who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is stronger than who you used to be." Archangel Michael says, "One day you will understand why certain prayers were delayed. One day you will understand why certain relationships ended. One day you will understand why certain opportunities disappeared. One day you will see connections you cannot currently see. Until then, trust. Trust that God is wise. Trust that God is good. Trust that God is faithful. Trust that God is still working. Even when you cannot see it." Jesus says, "My beloved child, if you remember only one thing from this message, remember this. You are loved. Not because you earned it. Not because you achieved something impressive. Not because you are perfect. You are loved because God chose to love you. And that love is stronger than fear. Stronger than doubt. Stronger than disappointment. Stronger than any obstacle standing in front of you." Archangel Michael says, "Walk into the coming days with renewed faith. Walk into the coming days with renewed courage. Walk into the coming days with renewed hope. Do not allow yesterday's disappointments to steal tomorrow's possibilities. Do not allow fear to rob you of your confidence. Do not allow doubt to silence your faith. The future remains unwritten. And with God, incredible things are always possible." Jesus says, "My child, keep your heart open. Keep your spirit strong. Keep your faith alive. The journey continues. The story continues. The purpose continues. And heaven continues watching over you every step of the way. Peace be with you. Today. Tomorrow. And throughout every chapter still waiting to unfold."